Hi guys, Chris here with Super Savvy Travelers. Hey, I'm in the back of the village today, and Pete is droning our new property, so I'm excited. You can hear the drone in the distance, and dying to see what it looks like over there. Anyway, I wanted to take a minute to go over the types of property and what you might be looking for in a property purchase. Now, we're looking at the centro storico areas versus the flats down below, like say in Scalea or the lower village of Santa Domenica Talao. Now, up in the hill towns, the centro storicos, generally it's on a hill, and there's hills, and there's ramps, and there's steps, and there's this and that and the other thing. So if you're going to opt for the hill town, which I love, because to me the charm of it, the aesthetics there is just unbeatable. So make sure that if you do get something in a hill town, you don't have too many steps, and that it's pretty accessible from some sort of parking area or whatever. It's all very beautiful and lovely until you have water or laundry detergent that weighs a lot and you're trying to go up and down steps in the summertime heat. And deciding that perhaps halfway down the hill with 100 steps up to the piazza was not quite for you. Anyway, check that out before you make a decision. Now, the second thing is the building model, the centro storico homes versus the homes down below. Now, the homes down below, and in many of these seaside towns, are a different building model because they were built in the 70s and 80s. They are pretty much brick and mortar and flats built up like that. And they're okay. It's a perfectly legitimate building model, but the homes in the centro storicos have really stood the test of time. Santa Domenica Talao was originally built in the 1700s, so you've had hundreds of years to see how these buildings are going to last, and they've been lasting. They are actually really, really beautiful, many of them in fine shape, despite the fact that they've been here for so long. Now, the reason for that is that the building model is the walls are made of whatever they had. There's a certain kind of cement that they used, and bricks and rocks and sometimes ceiling and floor tiles and whatnot. Whatever they had to hand, they would make it into a wall, and the walls were 2 feet thick. Now, the question is, what difference does that make? Well, I talked to Antonello about it, and he says that these walls, because they're slightly more flexible, they have a tendency to flex in any kind of earth movement, which is nice, not only in an earthquake, also in the day-to-day shifting of walls and buildings just in general. So in another building where a big quake might shake the roof off and turn the supports for the roof into flying projectiles coming out one side, in these cases, they sort of shift with the walls. That's what he told me. So I thought that's pretty interesting, and it seems to be true because it stood the test of time. Again, there have been shakers up here, and everything's fine. So that's another plus point for the centro storico. Now, I do want to put in a pitch, because even though there are stairs and ramps and whatnot, I gotta say, I'm healthier than I've ever been. I've been going up and down stairs and ramps and all up and down the village, and I get a lot of exercise in a day, and I'm pretty darn healthy and in pretty good shape. Now, another thing that I wanted to go over, sorry, I had to pick up Jeed, she was getting a little agitated, but just because you're in a historic center doesn't mean that your building has to be ancient and your apartment has to be without the comforts. You can take a really sort of ancient looking building and put some beautiful, beautiful modern touches in it, and all the comforts like your dishwasher, your heating, your air conditioning, all those things. You can make a super beautiful and comfortable space and still have it be in the historic center, which is really a lovely thing. So I wanted to give you those 3 points to think about. I hear Pete's drone, and he's droning our property, and I'm dying to see what it looks like, so I'm going to let you go here. But think about those things and let me know what you think with your comments. Take care.